Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Today, we are doing my outro video for Animorphs number 7, The Stranger by K. Applegate. Which means, last video, we finally finished Animorphs number 7, and wow, that was... What I like about this series is it doesn't show the heroes winning every single battle. Like, they don't always win it or win it well. And I don't know, these heroes just have trouble because they're teenagers and war is not easy, especially if this is like your first go around. And they did have a major victory, but they also needed help from a sort of a godlike being. So it wasn't like their own full victory. That will come on later, or maybe next book, or 3 books away. They'll have what I consider their first full-fledged victory that they did on their own with no supernatural help. Jesus whale or godlike being. So, in this video, the first thing I will talk about the top 5 things I noticed in Animorphs number 7. And I'm saying top 5 things I noticed because I'm pretty sure I'm going to eventually do a dramatic reading of a book that is not good, and I won't maybe have a lot of good things to talk about. So, yeah. And I will also be announcing the next book in the series that I'll be reading. But before I do all that, this is the only video where I'm going to make a big deal of doing about asking for donations, just because you've just seen me read an entire book, and I figure that, hey, I gave you something big, maybe something halfway decent. So if you do have the means to, and you have been my fan for a little while, here's a way to help out with, money. And I'm not expecting some newcomer to suddenly donate anything at all. I just don't expect that. But anyways, if you would like to donate, I do have 3 ways to do so. First is Patreon. Patreon is a monthly donation service, and there are sort of fixed amounts of what you can donate, and you also get some bonus content. You get to read new chapters of Chronicles of Gaia before they come out, and I keep on saying every year, this is going to be the year I get a shitload of them out, and then it's like, But anyways, you all get those chapters early, plus you get bonus content you can't get anywhere else, mainly because no one else gives a shit about it. So anyways, also, if you donate to the $5 tier currently, you will get exclusive video reviews, and the next exclusive video will be of the Crazies remake. And this has been one of those things I'm working on where it feels like the whole universe is against it being done. Then $1, $1 slot, you get my long posts around maybe a week or so ahead of when everyone else sees them. Yeah. That's Patreon. There is also Ko-fi, which is also a fixed amount you can donate, and it's supposed to be like the amount that a cup of coffee costs, which I found really cute, and it's really the only reason I signed up for that site. So, And I think there is a way to do like exclusive content release on that platform that only your donators can see, but unlike Patreon, it does seem like I would have to pay an amount to get that privilege. And the thing is, not many people donate, so at the current moment, I don't have any exclusive content just because it would end up, costing me more than I make. And finally, PayPal. PayPal, any amount you want to donate, if you want to be funny and donate me 2 cents to me to give me your 2 cents, you can do that. And yeah, all the links for all three of those, if you're watching on the YouTubes, are in the description. And if you are watching on my blog, the blog, all three of those are on the sidebar thingamajig. So let's get started on this video after, the advertisements of please, I'm poor. Anyways, part 1, Rachel's angst. Tobias tends to be thought of as the most angsty Animorph. He thinks about being human and how he is trapped as a hawk. In short, he has a heavy topic to think over and a lot of time to think. There is no way for him to pretend he isn't in a difficult situation. But Rachel outdoes Tobias in this book. She has to deal with 2 big decisions that make her sanity come close to crumbling. She spends one day as a bald eagle to relax. She first has to deal with her father moving away. To some, this might not seem like a big deal. For someone who is a child of divorced parents, they'll be able to see clearly why Rachel is so confused. When you're young, you are just starting to learn how to deal with not seeing your mother or father for long periods of time. My defense mechanism was to eventually stop missing people. I do miss people, but not in a way other people do. For the majority of people I know, I don't mind the period of time not seeing them, but am extremely excited when I do see them again. Rachel hasn't yet developed something like that and would understandably be saddened, especially as she has to deal with being a child soldier fighting an alien invasion, which I don't think many of us have to deal with. Rachel also has to deal with learning Earth is doomed to the Yeerks, or at least that's what she thinks the majority of the book. So she thinks she will either have to fight a useless war or go to the sanctuary the Elmas has promised to take the Animorphs, along with a few others to make sure humanity can make more children. So it's more than understandable why Xena Warrior Princess is having a hard time coping during this book. Part 2, Rachel acquiring a grizzly bear. To me, it seems as if Rachel uses her Balmorphs to counteract her fear. While she projects being fearless to others, she is only human and can very much feel fear. So she chooses Balmorphs that make her feel in control. Rachel's first Balmorph was an African elephant. This creature is extremely large and hard to kill. When she is feeling like the world is crushing her, she has to decide what to do with her father. She decides to acquire a new battle morph. She chooses a grizzly bear, which she sees as being without fear. Indeed, when she morphs it, she feels fearless. Rachel uses it for the first time in the Yeerk pool, which proves a mistake. But as she wasn't fully mentally stable beforehand, this decision makes sense. I don't think you can hear it, but the birds, the parakeets seem to be responding. They have opinions. Part 3, Tobias being unused to his human body. And again, we arrive back at the Tobias is trans fan theory. I believe last time I gave a brief synopsis of the theory, as much of it was riddled with spoilers. Now we can slowly expand the theory. Tobias is briefly returned to his human body twice in this book. Both times he is confused at being human and angry about being used. At least that is how he feels. This sentiment is something I find funny, but that is another story that you'll find out as we continue our journey. Anyways, Tobias is confused about being human. Every thought of his seems to cry out, "I am not human." To many, his uneasiness means that he is trans. While his thoughts reflect body dysmorphia, I don't think he is canonically trans. He hasn't been in his human body for so long that of course he'd forget about being human. I see his problems being due to him being a non-flit, not because he's secretly trans. However, the people that are about to riot in the comments section, if you know enough people to form a nice riot, never mind. Anyways, however, Tobias's confusion with his human body does lend itself well to talk about those under the trans umbrella. Myself, I sometimes look at my arm and feel like it's supposed to be on a different body. I sometimes move my fingers and it feels alien to me. Part 4. Debating whether or not to take the Elmis's offer. If you knew Earth was doomed, would you continue to fight, or would you take an offer to go off to safety? If you knew the people you loved would be rescued, would you take the offer to flee? This is a difficult decision, especially if you aren't accustomed to running away. In the back of your mind would be the thought that the person making the offer doesn't actually know the war's outcome, that if you keep fighting, you have the chance to rescue the world. Your love for others might drive you to taking the offer. You are used to fighting, but those you love aren't able to do what you do. They're defenseless to what is destroying the planet, and every moment the war goes on, the more chances they have to die. Is it right to risk their lives? When the Animorphs are only teenagers, they have to make this life-changing decision. Part 5. Tobias being the main dish at a barbecue. With how much I cried out during this part, of course it would have to be in this outro video. Visher 3 doesn't just stop at saying Tobias was eaten. He also describes how the kid's meat tasted so Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. I thought I could write better than me, so let's go back. He also describes how the kid's meat tasted horrible, so barbecue sauce was used to make him edible. No wonder Rachel lost it at this point. What is a wonder is why this part wasn't censored. It is possible that since Tobias was a bird and a bird being eaten isn't horrific, that the adults didn't think twice about it. They would probably think of KFC and not bother worrying. Tobias might not have had his human form, but he was human in mind, and that's what counts. So, what did you think about the top 5 things I noticed? Do you have your own list? Please comment down below and tell me. Tell me, what are the top 5 things you noticed? Tell me your list. I'd love it. As for the next book, you might be going, well, Jash, 8 comes after 7, so of course we're going to be reading Animorphs number 8. But you'd be wrong. In the Animorphs series, there are extra books. There's books that they're all the same canon, but the numbered books like Animorphs 1, 2, etc. are called the main series. Then the other books, you sort of have to... God, how to describe it? I didn't think this part would be so hard to describe, but here we are. Anyways, when people take, say, one of the Megamorphs books or the Chronicles, and they're doing their reading, there's sometimes a lot of choice of when to read which books. And sometimes some of the bonus books do have clues to indicate to you, oh, it should definitely be after this time. And, that's how you situate it there. And the first Megamorphs book is supposed to be after number 7. So, like, say the Andalite Chronicles, you can read it whenever you want to when you're doing your read through, though I would highly suggest after book number 23. And so, yeah. So whenever I say, okay, next book we're going to be reading is Megamorphs number 1, or next book we'll be reading is the Hork-Bajir Chronicles, don't think that's the way you have to, go through the entire reading of the series. Just know that's my preferred method of reading through. You can have your own methods, and there is, you can look up other people's lists of how they read it. You can ask them on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, how do you go through the reading? And there's also, if you do Google search, you can also see another way to do a reading. And so anyways, the next book we'll be doing a dramatic reading of is Megamorphs number 1, The Andalite's Gift. And I am putting it between number 7 and number 8 because it just fits so snugly, because there's, oh God, how to explain it, but it's situated between 7 and 8 so nicely that I don't feel it should be moved. So actually, comment down below and tell me, do you put Megamorphs number 1, The Andalite's Gift, between 7 or 8, or do you place it somewhere completely different? Please let me know. And also, if you're someone who has read the series before, don't give away any spoilers, but comment down below and tell me how you actually read the entire series. Do you say start with the Andalites? God damn, I was combining the Megamorphs 1 title and the Andalite Chronicles title together. God damn it. But so do you read the Andalite Chronicles first? Do you wait after 23? What do you do? So anyways, sorry, I thought I didn't really write the whole main series Megamorphs explanation down, because I'm like, this is so easy. I can just easily explain. I'll just wing it, and then it's like, oh my, this is why you have a script. But anyways, next book we'll be reading will be Megamorphs number 1, The Andalite's Gift. And I will start reading it on Monday, where we'll start with the intro video and chapter 1. So, that'll be on Monday. Nothing goes wrong. And please, like this video because you believe I can get better. And also subscribe, because I'm going to be reading more of the Animorphs series, the entire Animorphs series except Alternamorphs, okay? And if you're on my blog and on the desktop version of my blog, please choose the follow by email option so you will never again miss one of my posts. I just don't do these Jash Reads videos. I also do long posts, and the next long post will be of Game of Thrones, so you might be interested there. So yay. And also, I'm Jashikins on Twitter, and on that site I do tend to update statuses of my projects. So, okay. And again, next dramatic reading we'll be doing will be of Megamorphs number 1, The Andalite's Gift by K. Applegate. Until next time, goodbye.